this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home.
Hey, this is Preston Jones with DFW.com.
And this is Carrie Darling, also at DFW.com.
And we're here to talk about the songs of summer for 2016, and we're going to jump right in and talk first about Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling, which is, I think, only been out a few weeks, but it's kind of already being held up as the reigning song of summer. What did you think of it?
I don't think it's prime Justin Timberlake, but it's a fun sort of song. I can see why it would be a hit this time of year.
Do you feel there any truth to the charges that he's basically just kind of trying to rip off Happy and make a similarly quirky song?
It is reminiscent of that with a little bit of sort of prime era Michael Jackson thrown in there, but it doesn't bother me at all.
It's from Trolls, which Timberlake is in, and the soundtrack for that will come out in September, and then the movie doesn't come out until November, so he's really kind of getting a jump on the whole year, I guess, not just summer.
So it'll be the song of summer and the song of fall and probably Christmas if the movie is a hit.
Exactly.
I drive a sports car just to prove I'm a real big baller, cause I made $1 million and I spend it on girls and shoes. But you don't wanna be high like me.
Up next, we're going to talk about Mike Posner's I Took a Pill in Ibiza. And it's worth noting that there's actually two versions of this song. We're talking about the one that's a little more recent, is a remix, kind of a, I guess, what is it, like an EDM folk song, sort of, kind of?
Sort of. With sort of sad lyrics.
Yeah, it's actually really surprising. That's the thing that I gravitated towards about this song was the lyrics are really kind of reflective, but also sort of bleak, I guess, which is not something you get in a lot of mainstream pop songs now.
Well, especially you don't get it in EDM.
No, not at all.
And it sort of reminds me of that Luke Graham song in that it's that's sort of a very lyrical song as well.
I feel like there's a lot of millennials that are being very existential and sort of, staring into the void and all this. Because Posner's not that old. He's in his late 20s.
Right.
He's like talking like he's, lived an entire life in 2 decades. So,
well, he's been to Ibiza, so that's kind of like living.
I guess that's all you know.
And I like the Castilian pronunciation, too.
Yeah, he's accurate. That's good. You want that.
Trying to run that game, made it sound so sweet when it say my name. I said, boy, stop, run it back. You can talk that talk, but can you play that sax? Met a boss last night buying out the boss.
Okay, up next we're going to talk about Fleur East and her song Sax. She might be kind of an unknown quantity for American audiences. She was a finalist on the British version of X Factor, and she's just kind of now starting to make inroads into America. And what was your take on the song?
Well, the title is a bit misleading since there's no sax in the song, so I was disappointed by that. No, it's a fine song. I just don't know if it's going to do it for her here in America because it's not that different from a lot of what else is out there right now.
Yeah, and it's sort of a toe in the water because she hasn't announced an EP or an album or anything yet, and they're sort of, I think, putting this single out to see if it catches on at all, and if not, then they'll probably just focus on her European career, where she's doing pretty well over there, and I think that's got more to do with sort of the X Factor halo than anything else. But yeah, well, maybe she needs to do a remix with more saxophone.
Or maybe she could go to Ibiza.
Yeah, hook up with Mike Posner.
Can you play that sax? Smart ass you, Mr. Know-it-all. Think you got flood down to a formula. I'm like, boy, stop, run it back. Back a big guy, Cuba, can you play that sax? Baby, baby, I've been waiting for.
Now we're going to talk about Beyonce's Freedom from what I think you could safely say is the album of the summer, Lemonade. It certainly seems to be the only thing that any real conversation is revolving around more than Radiohead or Drake or anybody else who surprise released an album this year. What was your take on Beyonce?
I liked Freedom. It certainly sounds different than a lot of what's out there, and working with Kendrick Lamar. I mean, it's not just sort of a flighty song of summer. It actually has some substance as well.
It makes a nice bookend with Posner. It's
Yeah,
a serious
sort
summer
of.
song. But she worked. What was it? I think it's like a '60s soul band or some obscure sample that's kind of underneath everything. And she's really the thing that's impressive to me about Lemonade altogether, but especially this song, is she's really kind of shed that playing it safe mentality that she kind of had when she was first coming out of Destiny's Child and starting herself as a solo artist. Like now, she's just got a really kind of brash.
Well, she can do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, she's sort of freedom. It's freedom. That's what she's singing about. The penny drops.
I've cursed on a Sunday, I've cheated and I've lied, I've fallen down from grace.
Now we're going to talk about one of the breakout stars from around these parts for this year, Maren Morris, and her single My Church, which has already gone gold from her major label debut, Hero. What were your thoughts on Maren?
It's a sort of nice little country pop song. It's nice to see somebody from around here do well again, following the footsteps of Leon Bridges. I'm not sure what it says about her. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see where she goes from here. It's kind of an interesting little teaser, but it'll be interesting to see what she does with the follow-up.
I think the thing that's interesting about her is that the next single they're going to put out is 80s Mercedes, which is even more of a poppy feel to it, and she's being, marketed kind of as a country star, country breakout artist, and the album itself isn't really, it owes a lot more to kind of R&B and pop than it does to strictly country. So it's interesting to me to see how she sort of doesn't quite fit in the box that she's being pushed out in, but it'll be interesting. I think she can pull it off. It's just going to be kind of, I think, in a weird way, it's sort of like what Leon went through, and everyone sort of categorized him as one thing, and he thought he was doing something else. And it's sort of that same thing again with Maren, where it's like everyone's, oh, she's country, but she's not really necessarily doing that.
You don't think this will hurt her?
No. I think because especially when you consider so much of Nashville now, especially like the young artists, are a lot more genre blind than they were even 10 years ago. So, I think she kind of coexists with somebody like Jake Owen or Florida Georgia. Like, these people sort of slide around, and it's not strictly, like steel guitars and fiddles and everything like it maybe was, 10 years ago.
Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feels like the Holy Ghost running through ya. When I play the highway FM, I find my soul revival.
And now we're going to talk about, there's always kind of one left field choice on the Songs of Summer list, and I think this track fits that description. This is Anoni's Drone Bomb Me from her new album, Hopelessness, which is kind of flying under the radar, I think, a little bit, but it was really, really interesting, and you liked it a lot. Yeah,
this is probably my favorite song of the ones that we're discussing today. It's a little bit, has a little bit Bjork feel to it, kind of atmospheric electronics. It's not something you're sort of used to hearing on sort of mainstream radio, but I hope it succeeds.
Yeah, and really confrontational lyrics. I mean, it's like, it sounds like one thing, but then you kind of listen to it, it's, actually a really kind of almost angry.
And most people don't put drone as one of their song titles.
This is true, yeah. But, I'll be interested to see how she does. I know that critics have really liked it. I don't know if it's caught on yet too much with the public, but maybe.
I don't think most people really know about her yet.
That's true, yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of push yet, so curious to see where she goes.
Maybe it'll be next summer's song, too.
Voila. Voila. Yeah. this life.
And that was Anderson .Paak's Am I Wrong? He's kind of one of the buzzier R&B stars this year, and his album is starting to kind of get some traction. What were your thoughts on Anderson's song?
I liked it. I actually found his sort of personal story kind of more compelling than the music. He was homeless at one point and then worked with Dr. Dre. But it's an interesting song, kind of a mix of genres. And again, I'll be curious to see where he takes it from here.
That's sort of the thing that's both exciting and frustrating, I think, about R&B and hip-hop at the moment, is that, like, there's so many collisions of genres, but you don't really know how or where they're going to take it next, and it's interesting to see people sort of, I feel like this is kind of a period of time where people are just sort of throwing things at the wall more than maybe...
To see what happens.
Yeah, to see what happens and see what sticks and just sort of try, you know. I don't know why this moment in time, it's lending itself to that, but...
We'll probably still be talking about him next year at this time.
Yeah. So this is like 2 songs of summers. We're just knocking out this year, next year, year after that.
Is yours, is mine. And look at the time. My God. So precious. Is yours, is mine. Only one at a time. Just the guitar, okay, cool. This was all you, none of it me. You put your hands on my body and told me. You told me you were ready.
Now we're going to talk about Adele and her latest single, Send My Love to Your New Lover. It's from her album that came out late last year called 25, and she's kind of in the midst of her, I guess it's a victory lap. I don't know. She's on an arena tour and selling out everywhere, and people are still going nuts for her, and I don't know. What did you think of the song?
It's good. It's no hello, that's for sure.
What is? Just hello.
But it's a nice, solid song. I don't think it's the best one on the album by any means. But she needs something to be out there while she's doing this victory lap, as you call it. So
yeah.
it serves its purpose.
And I think it's a little bit different for her in that it's up tempo, and it's not like some big string laden gloom and doom ballad, which I kind of appreciate just to hear her in a different context. Yeah, because a lot of her songs are so, I don't know, sweeping and sad, and so it was sort of nice to hear her in more. I mean, she's still, an angry love interest, but at least it was happy-ish.
I wonder if for her next album, which won't be named after her age, I wonder if it's going to be a totally different direction, if she's going to be more up-tempo and...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's possible. I sort of feel like this album is kind of half what people expected and half her trying on different styles to see what suits her going forward and like what people respond to. And I mean, everybody loved 25 just because it was Adele, but I think as time goes on, it'll be interesting to see like what pieces of this she takes with her and what she leaves behind.
Because I don't know if she can repeat this one. I think she's peaked in this version of Adele.
Yeah, like how many more sad, sepia tone songs can you sing?
Oh no, see you walking around like it's a funeral. Not so serious, girl, why those feet cold? We just getting started, don't you tiptoe. Waste time with the
That was
masterpiece. Waste time with
DMC's
the
Cake by the Ocean, which is kind of a slow burn song of summer, I guess. The album came out last year, but the single is kind of just now working its way into heavy rotation. And I saw them play this song actually at the Kiss Jingle Ball back in December. And it was far and away, they probably played like a 15-20 minute set, and this song far and away generated the most reaction then. So even though the song makes my skin crawl, people seem to love it. I don't really know why. I don't know what it is that people respond to.
It's very hooky.
Yeah.
And it's one of the songs you hear everywhere, and so it gets burrowed in your brain. But I think they're kind of a flash in the pan act. I don't know if we'll be hearing from them next summer.
Yeah, it's just so strange. Like, I tried to read the lyrics at one point, and I gave up.
Well, that's not the type of song you read the lyrics for.
Well, I know, but I was just trying. I was like, what are they singing about? What Cake by the... It just made no sense. I don't know. But maybe that's what you want when you're just...
Well, apparently Cake by the Ocean is... Apparently the Swedish producers misheard or misinterpreted the term sex on the beach and thought it was Cake by the Ocean, according to Wikipedia. So apparently that's the genesis of the phrase.
But you're moving so carefully. Let's start living dangerously.
Work. You see me heavy work. You see me do me dirt. So me better work. When you walk a line. I'm in the cafe,
and we wrap up this year's Songs of Summer discussion with a perennial artist who's always on this list, it seems, and Rihanna and her song Work from her new album Anti. And this, I really like this song. When I first heard it, and the repeated listens, I've kind of started to like it less, but I like it because it's sort of a throwback to her really early stuff, like a decade ago when she was first coming up, because she did a lot more, I felt like, kind of Caribbean inflected, like she really leaned into her heritage, as being a native of Barbados, then she kind of got away from that, and this is sort of, I feel like, a tack back in that direction.
Yeah, it has a bit of that sort of dance hall flavor, which I like, which you don't really hear that much on the radio anymore, and but it is overplayed, that's for sure. But it's not a song of summer, I guess, if it's not overplayed. It kind of goes with the definition, I guess.
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But all right. Well, those are the 10 songs that we narrowed down out of the thousands of possibilities for this summer. So when you're planning your barbecues, your pool parties, now you got a starter playlist there for you. But thanks for listening. I'm Preston Jones at DFW.com.
And Carrie Darling at DFW.com.
against you. I just hope that